أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والسلام على رسول الله الكريم الحمد لله الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. This is Uncle Samir. I just want to give a little reminder to my brothers and sisters about the benefit of the Sunnah. All this talk and passing videos about the coronavirus outbreak and so on and so forth. One of the things that I generally teach new Muslims, and this should be emphasized with the Muslim children and in the educational Islamic schools and so forth. This should be reminded and emphasized by the teachers and mentors and parents. We don't realize sometimes the benefit and the khair that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us in this deen. One of the first things that I teach new Muslims is about right and left hand management, RLM, what I call RLM. Because as Muslims, we know we specifically are encouraged and taught in the Sunnah to do certain things with the right hand and certain things with the left. Of course, non-Muslim culture doesn't have that practice. And I believe, and I've been wanting for a long time to actually make a Facebook group or something emphasizing this, starting with the those medical professionals, because if they get a hold of this understanding, I think it will really spread and it can become a movement in and of itself. And just even maybe by them getting understanding of RLM can be a gateway into them learning more about it and wanting to learn more about Islam, and maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guiding some of their hearts. But anyway, RLM is understanding reasons why we do certain things specifically with the right and the left. And this is the way that I generally explain it to new shahadas. As I say, that every culture around the world does not shake hands when they greet. Some may bow, some have all kinds of different traditions that they do. However, every culture that does shake hands when they greet people, when they greet one another, they always use what hand? The right. So I tell them, and I explain this in this way. If one does not designate certain things to distinguish doing with the right hand and the left hand, you have this which happens. And we know people, non-Muslim, will try to understand, why do I have to do some things with my right and some things with the left? If I'm right-handed, if I'm left-handed, why can't I just use my dominant hand? Well, as I said, because everybody, regardless to whether they're right-handed or left-handed, every culture that does shake hands with the right hand. One who does not designate or practice RLM have no problem to do this with their nose and then shake your hand. Even if somebody cleans their hands before they do it and they handle things with their nose, they may not necessarily properly wash or clean their hands properly. So immediately you have serious spread of germs. Now, I'm a person who does not pay any attention or care as to right and left hand management will use whatever is their dominant hand or whatever hand they feel comfortable with and handle their private parts. And that may be their right hand. And next they will come and shake your hand, which is immediate spread. As Muslims, we have RLM, so we know right and left hand management. We shake hands with our right hands. We feed ourselves and eat with our right hands. We are generally encouraged to pass things to one another using our right hand. But the left hand is used for cleaning the nose and cleaning the private parts, and even washing the feet. Even though we can, when making wudu, use either hand, right or left, generally practice using the left hand from the waist down and the right hand from the waist up, with the exception of the nose. This being practiced in and of itself is an amazing blocker for passing and spreading germs and disease. One of the other great benefits about the wudu is the cleansing of the nose. which takes place throughout the day. And we downgrade this issue. And I know that in the recent years there has been a lot of emphasis on the issue of doing the mouth and the nose with one hand, with one swoop of water, which is good, and no question. This is a sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. However, many people do not get much water in their nose in doing it in that practice. And especially teaching a new Muslim that, and children, is, to me, wallahu alam, better to emphasize doing it individually until they really get that habit and they get used to being able to properly do it. Then, as they grow, alhamdulillah, if they can do it and get enough water in one hand to put some in the mouth as well as in the nose, and not just making a sound, which I notice that a lot of people who may tend to attempt to do that easily make sound more than actually getting some water that actually penetrates into the nose. Because what you're doing is washing those hairs inside your nose that cleanse that system, which is where, from what little bit I understand, and I have no knowledge of medical understanding, these germs are spreading inside. One last note that I want to make real quick, which again, this is something that is just from my observation, Uncle Samir. All right. I don't believe, I have not come across any particular hadith that mentions this practice in this particular way. But one of the things that I have noticed over many years is that our Muslim brothers from East and West Africa, when they make wudu, they only use their right hand on their face. They don't use their left hand on their face when they do their facial part of washing in the wudu. And I used to wonder about this. And I realized that we cleanse ourselves knowingly with our left hand. And then if you are not thorough and extremely thorough in washing your hands properly, then you're taking your hands and that left hand that maybe you still have some minor portions of some of the bacteria or whatever left on your left hand and rubbing it all over your face. So to me, it makes proper sense to, when coming to the part of washing your face, to just simply, thoroughly do it with the right hand so that you don't put those kind of germs near your nose and your mouth. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. And this is my encouragement to increase this understanding and practice of RLM. And this is what we should teach our new Muslims, remind our brothers and sisters who've been Muslim all their lives, and emphasize a lot with the children in the educational process of their growth. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy and beneficial for all of the believers. Jazakum Allah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.